Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I have some rules that I'm going to lay down. Please silence your cell phones. Pictures and videos are welcome, but just don't have your ringtones go off. Refreshments, please help yourselves to the refreshment table, but please stay away from the art. Here at the church, this is quoted by our chief curator, Sarah, we die for art. So keep your drinks and your cheese away. And I have many people to thank tonight, but I'm going to save most of them for the end because hopefully this will be a success, but if it's not, either I'll say thank you or I'm sorry. So I want to start by thanking Heather Buchanan, who helped put this together with me and helped organize our media sponsor for this evening, which is James Lane Post. And then I especially want to thank Kathy Engel for helping me find so many of these writers. And more importantly, for helping me understand writers and the community that they have, because there was a lot I didn't know and a lot of things that I would have done wrong, and her guidance meant the world to me, and she also helped me see myself as a writer, and that's why I'm also reading tonight. So, Kathy, thank you so much. And then I just want to thank all of the writers for being here. I'm really, really proud and excited for this roster, and I know that you're all going to enjoy it so much. Let's get started. The first writer this evening is Laura Renee Tucker. She is what she calls a therapeutic poet, and in 2010 she published her first book, Rites of Passage. She has an MFA in creative writing at Stony Brook. She's the editor for African Voices, and she offers poetry therapy workshops at Southampton Hospital. Let's give it up for Laura.
You have to excuse me, I have to walk like Bridgerton. With a little pride, you know.
Is the mic good for you?
We will find out. Hello, everybody. It's been wonderful. I see so many faces that love poetry and reading and writing. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. You know, it's like making me want to dance, but I got to use the cane. When I was given that love was a verb, I thought of these things. It's love most high, love of being in service, 5 senses of love, and a poem I wrote for a weaving. That was what we used to call it before it was a marriage of one of my 2 good friends, Gary and Peter. And love is love is love is love. Love most high, agape. I love you like moonlight raining down diamonds, honey drooling on a dream, a chocolate bar. A stubborn puppy receiving discipline, nails on a chalkboard, slow-moving traffic, the first drop of the cyclone, the second before the curtain rises. I love you like a phoenix rising from the ashes, my search for enlightenment, faith. Thank you. That's some love, isn't it? This is love of being in service. I'm a psychotherapist, a therapeutic poet, and this is to my clients that were the weekly session. They come to me, a smorgasbord of emotions, minds spread like peanut butter, word salad with dressings of disjointed adjectives, attitudes dipped in hot sauce. Faith is wrapped in a napkin in their pocket. They unwrap it and place it in my hand and trust I don't clutch and crush it. Clinical eyes, like an MRI, examine soft tissue by listening, learning, litigating. As long as no symptoms seep out of ears, shoot out eyes, droll out mouth, we look through mind's window at the weather and forecast tomorrow. No matter how they come, I am glad to see them. Set a place at the table. Serve all they can eat and help them pack their hope in a cognitive doggy bag. Thank you. I love my work, and I also love writing, and it's my bliss. I don't have my MFA yet. I think Southampton College and Stony Brook will go, wait a minute, I'm almost there. I'm doing my thesis, and I'm doing my thesis on my father, who was a Tuskegee Airman, and the search that I made to find out about him. Because he did a little more than just fly a plane, he might have helped Jewish scientists get out of occupied Germany. This is 5 Senses of Love. I ask you, if you feel like it, and close your eyes and relax, and I want you to feel your senses with this poem. It's called Like This. How do you tame the wildness inside as lips touch, thresholds cross, with restless want dripping over tongue, lips, like this? How does silent splendor sparkle, sweet and pungent aroma of long, lusty lives languishing? One whiff heightens your hunger, like this. Caverns, crevices, echoing sirens' song, songs filling ears, blooming like a peony at the first hint of heat, like this. Muscle memories, movements, moments in high definition, synergy of the senses as sparks become flame, then supernova, flashing before your third eye, like this. Like ice cream traveling to its destination, all that is cold gives heat, all that is silent sings, all that is untouched undulates, and the sweetness of you, me, we, fills the air and is seared into memory like this. Thank you. Well, I had to fan myself on that one there. The last one is the one of all. Love is love is love, no matter who, no matter where. It's called Crystal Clear, to Gary and Peter on their weaving. Gossamer dreams wrap warmly round gray matter, floating amongst emerald clouds, while hearts light dance in lavender air, mixing with fragrances that congregate where low violet voices with vibrating tones ripple through crystal clear waters, flow through aurora of hopes, rising above azure sky, stretch the horizon with tomorrow's sunrise. Sunbursts of smiles warming the touch, breezes of voices causing a rush, of pink-purple ribbon tied softly in bows, over crystal clear waters they gently flow, through veins of silver silence carrying prayers, of gossamer dreams and love crystal clear. Thank you. The last step is the doozy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura. Laura and I actually found out through this that we're neighbors, so we're going to be going on some walks together. I forgot to mention some things. This is All the World's a Stage, Love is a Verb, so thank you. Thank you, guys. And also, let's all snap tonight, right? We're in a poetry club, so let's get in the vibe. So next, our next our next writer is actually going to be Heather Buchanan. I know that the program doesn't say that, but you know, things happen. So Heather is going to be up next, and her witty column, Kiss and Tell, has won Best Humor Column Awards from New York Association, Press Club of Long Island, and National Society of Newspaper Columnists. So without further ado, here's Heather Buchanan.
I also just wanted to start with thanks to the church and also to Lena, who took this seed of an idea I had and grew it into this beautiful event. So this is a little ditty I call My Assassin. So, how would you kill me? We were swimming in the pool outside the Jack and Jill suite, and I had my legs wrapped around his waist. He gave me a knowing smile, his ice blue eyes assessing me. I'd probably follow you to see your routine when you were alone, maybe after yoga. He paused to scoop up a bumblebee struggling in the water and gently placed it on the bluestone patio. But probably I'd poison the Evian bottle. You take that damn thing everywhere. This was foreplay for my assassin and me. We had met on the set of my ex-husband's film where he was providing security. With time to kill, we talked of killing. And after listening to his stories about working undercover for the government, thought either it was true or he was an incredibly gifted storyteller, and it would make a good book either way. He had been on a covert operation in South America, which was ambushed, and some of his team members were killed. He suspected he was set up by his own government. He had been laying low ever since, gathering his insurance, and thought that the book coming out in the public might help keep him safe. It was the details of the stories which made me believe him, that you had to eat the local food for days before a mission, so passing gas in the jungle wouldn't put out a foreign smell. That the worst thing about a gunshot wound is the flies. Or on a mission to take out a drug lord, when you realize it is the daughter's birthday party, the right thing to do is to wait until after the cake. There was also the arsenal in the back of his Jeep and the bullet wounds in his legs and other scars I would later discover. I never thought I'd fall for a man in Wrangler jeans. But I was dealing with my husband's demons in my marriage and his traumatic secrets, which weren't mine to tell. I had no insurance in my own situation and knew I could not keep silent and stay. It was only ultimately in my assassin's strong arms that I would come to feel safe. There are a few things you need to know if you're going to date an assassin. In a restaurant, he always has to face the door. Don't snoop. Not in pockets or glove compartments or about past women. You won't like what you find. If you want to wake him up, throw a shoe. It's the only safe way. And if he asks you to keep a gun for him, say no. A lesson I learned the hard way. This was a whole new world for a girl from Connecticut whose idea of taking a risk is wearing white after Labor Day. I remember when I cut my pinky and held it under the cold water. I felt such a wuss in front of a man who had been shot, stabbed, and burned, but he assured me that fingertips were the worst because of the nerve endings. I can stop the bleeding, he assured me. We had stolen moments in distant places and under assumed names, even a ride to the heavens in a hot air balloon. My assassin told me the time we had together was to create memories we would not share with anyone else. I learned that loyalty and betrayal are not that far apart, and that bravery was more for yourself than others. We were keeping secrets from the world and each other. Loving someone, I learned, and saving someone are not the same thing. On the front page of the book which he published, he inscribed, "This is partly yours." In the end, he was right about savoring the moments, and maybe he gave me permission to leave my marriage and him. Some love stories are novels, and some may just be a brilliantly constructed haiku. My assassin is dead, And like my ex-husband, it is not ultimately my story to tell. I don't have the gun, but I still keep one of the bullets in my jewelry box and occasionally slip it into my bra on a night out if I feel like I need protection. And I always, always keep my Evian bottle close.
Thank you so much, Heather. Our next writer this evening is Candace Hill, but Candace couldn't make it tonight because she's sick, so Almond will be reading in her place. Candace is a painter, a poet, a weaver, and a multimedia creator. She has 2 poetry books that were recently published called Muscle and Short Leash Kept On. And we really want to thank Almond for being here tonight and for reading in Candace's place. So let's give it up for Almond Zygmunt.
Roast chicken, sleeping, coming back cooperative. Day-to-day kindnesses leak major damage. Town-persuaded consequences familiar. Something's haphazard, been around risk. I do admire closed smoke shops next to restaurants. Professional recognition, at all times given, woman to woman nicer. Last thrusts, goaded, broken, insolence, dines fine. Quick permutations, grudgingly dish-shelved, seeded fires, out on a limb. Quick up, break it down, mix in cheek. Nuff said, talk China. With good reason, push usual past wide jowls. What to cut flourishes, cut out. Speaking out the intimate progress, what to do with why and you, not hisses, difficile balloon. No comfort food, legendary goods, what we need. Hauling concedes, real life's real child. Say perhaps, party real wild. Foreknows good reason, ectoplasms read in bed, strife flirts within buoyance, decent, unbuttoned, walking between cities. Fat lot, arguing the death mission. The lusters drop fluttered off toys, ready to break in 2 transformers explodes on a dream service. Once thirsty knows, violent canards, enchanted, romantically certain. Shoved in privilege, betrays obscene, easily off underwear, gone beaten apron, eating chocolate by morning. Habit or leaving off absent. Stop it says, say, ostensible. Oh, put back on pork's butt, didn't cray play. Form regrettable, a dome. High drawn, a false trail, 2 far right muscles, unclouded arrowroot and marrow. At night, concluding, walking inside my habit, oh, inside out rabbit, rice and onions extreme as circle of peas restored sous vide, even expensive parsleys ignored details, narrowing absurds in on a buttery stony core, sown cool in stream, much snort, the same excellent olive oil may remain honey fruitless, plotted infinitely, achieve zip zip, unsure, zap small matter, zap sharper knife, off nips in on murdering one plate, a threaded feature blood blocked objective. Letters must try trivial social pleasure, that millipede fish market. A country ham sits, inspired street lemon, vestibule wander in oligarch squeezes the alarm. Clock dark black breezes rages and white blob freezes. Follow haze, alfresco maze, Charlotte's ruse, leaks change in tune, sisters aglow acumen, electronics outside terrace, quarrel aglow piano, 2 orange perspective, a classic orange in boeuf a la Catalan sparks, a tilted oar, one less conformist, approaches man a bore bullion cube or bottled, putt deceptive on offer lunges, a sad thing, blisterer bike ring rightly ringing its circles round thing, Surprise Lingosha's long-standing friends, abiders brought you in. Scrunched in, and what trouble flies lofty, a Spanish tweak, a long time try, sick a coasting race as fear as I, next cry, issues, up come treble, Prince Orloff died, his voice is funny, close set, two-seater, his pants dispassionate rent belongs looking through, maternal glass, comets adieu, Ella Fitzer, pantinting, braguetta, under, can't get the stud out my zones, gouging personal height counts down. Make up, Count Dracula, remembrances. Outmodels delight, define, accents, lick, slight, lock, like vanilla icing in on cupcakes top professional. Chocolate dart set near Dumas. Lunch table officially sunny, Maigret skedaddles. Two solid whistles high up bands, wrapping up low view sand. Too slow start when. Dim library plain fellows wipe up in Belgravia. Slow-y. The last fast element, chewed organic, comes one day to steam you in heavy swelling bridge of nose. Creamy, pulled open, toned sun's wintry British clone, unappealing passages, let's say Shetland's warming spirits gentilly, warm, surprising, impressive English, consomme, lays pads stretched, arms 34 floats, in oh so well employed flake, white them I am more inclined, random time reflected, mellow, elegant scarlet, stored like myrrh. Years ago, a long time, chicken married goes too feudal, blue tweel, pike shone on little corn, pork gratiné seems foreign to phones, in hymns too. For you, but slim chances surface, that's an otter pocket free. Reality prances forlorn, gunning past our sunset begging. For regular visitors, limited system, mystery hobbles, them Baptists a loss eat at home costs. We blew it there at Restoration. An homage to Omard, flushed out old Montclair sinks in a chair Mandarin butt. Definition, where else to keep knuckle sandwich, said fair individual. Oh, nightclub, dare kitchens, bench those claws, a natural kneader on that objection, other fella. Foiled money in bowl, leaked Antigone, shown integral, hushed, a place. A fawn, a crafty phone, marshes, remains in surf, claims sensual, whole earth, good morning, you open. Too fading, memory 4 hours later. Reggie's agreeable soup du jour, a shock. Suckling in tomato sips, Tate drinks pale lilies mist, grasping 5 spice notes at dawn boils down. Dismissed signed on dotted rival, extraneous lawn blown, stuffed fooled like bear quail beating wing home. Sarcasm alone we shall time, debate atone a conjurer famous flitterer hand drawn. Flamstead, lunches, best on blues studied from 2 for-profits unforgettable. A pale, bland pepper Aleppo. They go for pro-duck 2 parties, often going nari, an ale. There she failed to gel canary. Jailed, unforgiven, relative, twiggered, swelling, friends of our language, flushed. We said reform thunderbolts. Let me see you later, gators, produce tomata, missing her spinier friend, better election heavens data, limited, crabby, clean, outside, less formal, sated, edited brie, out-news tea crackers and cheese plate born to preen when she's shown how to turn car over. Whistling prawn fella, crook of neck, you see, show real you be. On tour, have a look at, point out, louse point. Flat refrain, the deal circles retain saucy, finger float up, overall muck. Saint squid, quick belch flies by jitter, off the kicker implies the best key orange peel. Winter west smack goes pale, get the cheesecloth, expositions nailed. Meet with cake unwrapped, goodbye lurk in history's smack. The proof lunatic pennies back hoof and crying whales tack. So eager buying as they were for paintings they'd forgotten ink, the magnum shot the Dixie boot fried. The hard heart, the 4 o'clock got thirsty bop, the inner blues possibility hops. Chris Knotts under tabled magic won the tutu's molecular charm. The Kenty star of objects wear it not. For the stove full herd unheard ditch goes. Indeed, the African olive weed, the branch, curtsied low. With an evergreen show, she'd quitted the needle's furs, unusual sow song, long ago quite a lot, addresses, hoe up before a head's conch slosh off the African Duke olive weeds, fleshed out Steve and weave, seen brick house munch surface music for less than 5 minks. That's Candace Hill from 2014. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Almond. That was amazing. It's not easy reading someone else's words. And thank you, Candace, even though you're not here tonight. That was beautiful. All right, yeah. We're snapping. So next we have RQ Tech, who is also goes by Amir Idris. RQ Tech is a rapper from the Upper East Side of New York City. You might recognize him. He was recently in residency at the church with the dance troupe Leia Rhythm. He's traveled all over the world, performing in the US, Mumbai, and Ghana. And his motto is show love, speak truth, transform lives. So here's RQ Tech.
What's up, y'all? I'm tall. Let me raise this up a little bit. Happy Friday. You know what I mean? I go by the name of RQ Tech. I spell it RQTEK. It's an acronym. It stands for Righteous Quest That Enters Kingdom, because I feel like everybody should be on the quest to greatness. If you are not on the quest to greatness, then hopefully by the end of this amazing event tonight, you will be. All right? Cool? It's beautiful. I just also want to shout out to the church and big shout out to T for even, bringing me back out here. Thank you, sincerely. Thank you so much for that. Please make some noise for this whole event right now. So, Valentine just passed, that was beautiful. Did y'all enjoy Valentine's Day? Yeah. That's good. That's amazing. This first piece, I wrote it, I was in love. It was a beautiful relationship. Sometimes when you get caught up in love, you might sound a little cheesy, but you're just like, oh my gosh, you can do no wrong. I love everything. It was that kind of feel, Not gonna lie, in that relationship, I wasn't the best I should have been. I made a lot of mistakes within that. Entertained things I should not have, and the result, that's the nice way to put it. But it resulted in, the demise of that relationship. But this piece is written in love. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. And even the chorus of the song is, in hindsight, looking back on it now, even though I initially wrote it for this girl, the chorus of the song is something I should have been singing to myself the whole time. And this song is called A Love You Ain't Used To. All right? And it's a song, so you can hit that, T. If you could turn it up just a little bit. Rappers be deaf. Hey. Once you got it, please sing along, because when you sing with me, I'ma sound better. All right? I said that you about 5-something and a half. Loving God, then you bad. When we met, I had to ask, what's your name, what's your math? Gave me tea on the tab. Got excited, hit the dab. Got food in the flash. Feeling special, never fast. Feelings grew really fast. Melodic like jazz. Kept me in place and she held me like a cast. I promised to follow God and love you and never dash. Drop one with you by my side. We'll always say, I'ma show you a love you ain't used to. Hey. Hey, let me hear y'all say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. Come on, make me sound good now. Come on. Hey, just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Y'all can sound a little better. Let me hear that, right? Just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Y'all sound amazing. Hey, in the past I know you dealt with some bad guys. God wants you to fly, but you loving God and me, that's how you try. In the rain to keep you dry, us forever God's time. My goal was to keep her face smiling and never cry. You would've thought she had grace cause she's so wise. Loving her hair and all of the colors it is dyed. Sweet like ice cream, best flavor I ever tried. I love the word all on my heart, so I'ma say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. I want you to point to somebody to your left and sing that. Just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. Now point to somebody to your right and sing that. Just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. Now point to somebody you don't know and sing that. Be like, I'ma show you. Some of y'all was like, I don't love people I don't know. I feel you. Hey. Being with you, I know that love is not a stranger. We go together like the green and the pink ranger. Us protecting each other whenever we in danger. Love humble beginning, Jesus born in the manger. Love music make the soul child speak out. Whenever it gets cold, I will not let the heat out. Getting closer to God, I promise we can seek out. Bypassing our L's like we dropping by Meek House. No shade though, I know the brother getting paid. Bringing it back on topic and never phase. Said me losing your heart to put me in the craze. Love knowing that you in the crowd when I hit the stage. Shameless plug, she the radiant in the shade. The one thing I know is that we gotta follow the ways. That leads to marriage, girl, that is the next page. We keep the passion burning, so I'ma say, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Hey, let me hear y'all say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. It's gonna be stuck in y'all head all night, by the way, I'm just saying. Just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Hey, just say, I'ma show you I love you ain't. Now put your hand over your heart and sing it to yourself. I'ma show you I love you ain't. If it helps you, you can even close your eyes and sing it. Say, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Self-love is incredibly important, y'all. I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. When you feeling down, just look in the mirror and sing, I'ma show you I love you ain't used to. Hey. Make some noise for yourselves, y'all. Thank y'all so much for that. I appreciate that. If you want to hear more about why that didn't work, I have an album out called Kill Me Love. It's on Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal, all that good stuff. You can feel free to stream it, but if you really like it, it's incredibly much more supportive if you can purchase the album. It's only $10. That's Chipotle, you know what I mean? Or you can just buy the song for $1. Everything is RQTEK. But this last piece I want to do for you guys is probably one of my favorite pieces because it's a lot of reflection in it. Self-love, as I said, is very important. I didn't realize how important it was until I became an adult. You know, when I was in high school, not gonna lie to y'all, I was a follower. Anytime the cool kids was doing something, whether it be something stupid, I was trying to follow them like, all right, we gonna do this? Okay. I don't know why we stealing Bubblicious bubble gum, but I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just following the crowd. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my identity, didn't know my value, you know? Make some noise if you know what your value is. Okay. That's amazing. I love that. I don't know if y'all noticed everybody didn't clap though. And that, you know what I mean? And that's okay. Sometimes it's a journey. Sometimes you know what your value is. Sometimes you may not know. Sometimes you're on your way to knowing. It be like that sometimes. I remember being in high school. I wanted to get these new sneakers because my friend told me, yo, bro, you get these new Jordans, everyone's gonna like you. You're gonna be the cool kid. And I didn't know sneakers like that. I was like, all right, let me get these. Find out they $250. I said, all right. Asked my mom. I said, Mommy, you know when you ask your mom for something, you lighten your voice up. Mommy, can I have $250? It's for a pair of sneakers, but I'm gonna be cool, and I promise you won't have to buy nothing for another year, and I'm gonna keep them clean and everything. My mother said, look, I'll give you $50. You go clean the house, clean the toilet, wash the rug, cook the food, wash the dishes. It came with chores, you know what I mean? I asked my dad. My dad, he lived in Queens at the time. I said, Dad, can I get $250? You know, we still aiming high. I said, can I get $250 for this pair of sneakers? And I don't know how many of you guys have family who is not from the United States, but who might have came over here later on in their life. But my dad, he's from East Africa. He's from Sudan. So the concept of $250 for one pair of sneakers was ridiculous. He said, you want me to pay you $200 for a pair of sneakers? Oh my God, please, you better play for the New York Knicks. They need you, please. You better be LeBron James. I don't like this. He gave me $50. I got the money. Then I ended up working at barbershops, just sweeping just to save up the bread. I got the money, bought the sneakers, wore them to school. And honestly, that was the best feeling I've ever felt in my life at that time. Because everyone was like, yo, he got the shoes. Oh, all the girls I liked wanted to hang out with me. All the cool kids who I thought were cool wanted to invite me over to their table. That's an amazing feeling. Came into school the following week, a little bit different. Came in the same way, strutting, had the shoes out. Hey, yo, they dirty, man. Nah, you got to get new feet now, man. You can't do those no more. And they was kind of like making fun of me, you know. But I say that to say that was one of those most crucial moments in my life, because I realized that if I'm putting what my value is into the hands and eyes of other people, it's an ongoing chase. I have to constantly get a new pair of shoes or get a new pair of clothes or do something so I can seem valuable to other people. But you have to find out what your value is. So this last piece is just called value. I appreciate that. Thank you. And when you hear me just say, oh, Lord, I just want y'all to yell out, what is my value? If you ever questioned it, or if you know what your value is, stand firm in that tonight, all right? What is my value? Have I ever really thought about it? No. Now when I'm thinking, I started doubting. So, Martin Luther at the top of mountains. Yo. I'm full of the change, I am a fountain. People say I need to change. What is my name? Where do I go when in pain? Who do I think that I am? Can I withstand the issue that comes with the man? What do I choose to believe? Some say I'm free. Who do I smoke on the trees? Who is it I want to be? What is the key? How can I learn to be me? So what is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord. What is my? Oh Lord. Some people say and they know, but they don't show. I guess they go with the flow, but I don't think that's the way to who you are. Your value can't look like your scars. I just want to know my worth. Is it the worst, or is it rich like the dirt? I need to know who I am and where I'm from, so I can add up the sum. What is my worth as a black man? Turning on new, see what's happening. People they laugh, say we acting. Fighting a joke, call me Batman. They telling me all lives matter, yo, but I tell them black lives matter, though. But we say black lives because the government don't seem to really think all lives really matter. So, what is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my? Oh Lord, what is my? Oh Lord. They telling me go with the flow. No. I should just follow my bros. No. Nailed to the feet like my toes. No. Life is a boat, help me row. My value not found in my job or in my money or in my neighborhood, only in God and getting through hard times in the bucket. I'm using my claws. My value was given by God, and it could be hard to go and understand the pause. Author told me that it come from the heart. Believe in yourself, that's the place where it start. I cannot just go and do what I'm told. Losing my path like it's covered with snow. Finding my value in seeds that was sown. Here is my down payment, life is a loan. Worth more than a Jesus piece. Finding my value in Jesus peace. Never leave God like Jesus peace. Shout out my blessing like Jesus peace. I am just here and I'm finding my way, and it's taking me back like I'm pressing replay. Finding my value or run the relay. Here is my down payment, what would they say? Everybody saying they know, they don't show how they gotta grow. I promise I'm over here with the flow. Growing up in life was hard cause I was poor. Thought I figured it out, I thought I had the code. See, I'm just stuck in the traffic, I'm asking the blasting of all of you acting. They filling they suffer with plastic so you could just think you a fire like matches. But I am not here to judge you, cause your value you cannot detach it. And life is like a bang, baby. The truth will shock you like static. And everybody will search for truth, thinking they found something valid. But your true worth, it is found in the odds and it already been established. What is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? What is my? Oh Lord, what is my value? Once again, I go by the name of RQ Tech. I want to thank you guys so much. Sincerely appreciate that. Thank you for the whole team. Show love, speak truth, transform lives. Thank y'all.
Wow. That was absolutely incredible. I picked up Amir from the bus, and I told him I was nervous about emceeing tonight, and he gave me some words of encouragement, and clearly, as you can see, he's an amazing MC. But he told me to just stay true to myself and to keep it light. So thank you. Another round of applause for Amir. And I mean, guys, buy the album. It's $10. So next up, we have Kate Muth. She, again, the program doesn't say that, but things happen. So Kate Muth is an actor, a director. She's a choreographer and producer. She's the founder and artistic director of the Neo-Political Cowgirls Dance Theater Collective. And they're in their 17th year. So she's passionate about the arts as the engine for human connection and change making. So here's Kate Muth.
Hello. Yes, I am Kate. Thank you to Heather Buchanan, to Talina, who I'm so happy to meet tonight. Thank you to the folks at the church for this kind opportunity to write, for me, something new and share it with you in its first messy pants baby form. This first sharing of some very particular bits of my being. And I come at writing as a theater artist. So this is always an honor to be able to be really brave with such beautiful, smart people in the room to begin processing this idea. I'm obsessed with process. I like process much more than opening nights. And so this piece, brand new, in process, called Love Life. It's autumn 1983 in a speck of a Midwestern town that's drowning in perpetual cornfields and frozen human potential. Lionel Richie's haunting ballad, Hello, aches its way out of my analog alarm clock, rousing my junior high soul and planting a sick, rocking ocean of love pain below my belly button, situating itself on top of my cage-rattled Catholic virginity. I am in love. It's winter, 1989. In a slightly larger speck of a Midwestern town. This one has a stoplight, grocery stores, and churches for the picking if you consider yourself a Christian. But you're out of religious luck if you're Jewish, Muslim, or anything other than a descendant of pale-skinned, Christo-loving dogma. I wake naked in the boys' dorm room bed after a night of booze-soaked sex. Raise the window blinds to check the day and suffer full-body neurogenic shock, seeing my parents stoically unspeaking, sitting in their maroon Plymouth Chrysler in the college parking lot. The jolt of remembering in these pre-cell phone days that we'd made plans for them to pick me up for morning mass. Now long over. This sends my brain into a synapse frenzy, seeking frantically for one more believable lie to offer up to our emotionally neglected family relationship. I don't care. I am in love. And it felt good. Summer 1991. Living above a cheese shop in just one more speck of a Midwestern town, this one a pretty tourist destination, with a mattress on the floor, some candles, my portable CD player, books on acting, ballet, philosophy, poetry I wasn't ready for, the full collection of Anne of Green Gables, and The Way, the Catholic Bible for young people. I wake, sobbing from a torrid dream where my waking world, true, childless, older cousin asked me for the baby that was now newly seated in my 21-year-old womb. The event, a product of the same college boy from the dorm room 2 years earlier, who's now suffering full-fledged alcoholism, who regularly processes his pain through a knife to my throat, my head to a brick wall, or repetitive cheating with other women, some my girlfriends. I am in love with so very much outside of this, my young reality. But it's swirling all around me, out of reach, moving fast and playing hard to get. I cannot catch it, cannot get it to stop. So to wrap my starving arms around it, nor does it bear witness to me in my longing for it, for love, wanting it to pull me in close to whisper cherishing words. I am lost, desperate to find the mother love in my rootless, trauma-ruptured life. August 1995, a drippy, hot, empty 8th Avenue. I've not found love in this thick, putrid air, but I have found my feet. For right now, that's all I need. Feet on stage, feet dancing, feet having miraculously fled via a dangerous, circuitous route of many miles to save myself. My breathless escape given thankful new perspective now in the clutch of a cityscape of buildings, not acreage of silent, suffocating husks. Winter 2023. An even larger, long speck. A seaside town where the haves and have-nots cohabitate in rough, diametrically opposed planes of existence, stuck together on a narrow spit of stolen land with only one road out. Need is a matter of unflinching, overstuffed bank accounts versus empty stomachs rubbing up against backsides and bigotry in invisible darkness. I am here now, a human transformed by 23 years of love, real love, the kind we pass many times over, suffering in our 9th rung of hell aches until one day we resurrect ourselves to recognize and say yes to it, this love. Yes, I see you. Yes, my heart will crack for you. And we are pressed together in our spirit circle like seasoned lips. A man and our child who came through me. Life, love, life. Love swims, arms flapping, feet kicking, surrounding all, holding all. Love's wondrous capacity for borderless containment, reaching wider than the universe, is a proud act of a slender middle finger erecting itself full height to religion. Love's container sets a mossy golden crown upon the yoni, opens her heart to regularly bleed, shameless, and lifts a terrifying eyebrow at your mad, mad warfare waste. She's not afraid to carry all, to scold your gorging. The love kingdom stoically endures the brambles to speak the smoke signals to inform us that it's an all-inclusive deal. My daughter, my son, my yin-yang beloved, it's everything. Acres of weeping corn, childhood ghosts pressing rotting flesh into recall, sweet 16 hugged by bulimia, a newborn's suckling at the breast, a tiny bird with bent wing nursed to health and set free. Lies to parents shackled in Christ, jumping naked into the cool lake at night with friends I no longer know. Smiles to passersby holding me up as I walk my days, a dead baby on each shoulder. Singing overt praises to the saint of loosening skin. Long shadows cast by the winter sun where the memory of my mother hides. Shovel hitting rock as we bury our prematurely dead cat, our sorrowful wails running to the midnight moon. Emily's speech in our town. Love making with thoughts falling into spaces both backwards and forwards, crying out in cellular pleas, begging for immortality. Holding our stumbling hypocrisy by both tiny hands, cracking wide the gossamer net of our lungs as we breathe in the stinging air of hardest truth to open the door, lift high the window, made sticky by years of giving up, shutting up, going along, and letting love fly right past our blind eyes and seeking mouths. First love, first lust, first kiss, last kiss. A love life, life love, knowing that love will never be enough, and yet it's all there is. Life, love, life, my consistently inconsistent, falling down ferocity, finally standing at the ramparts, nodding yes and thank you. Then close the eyes and leap. I fly into the star-scattered space where Mother Truth Love swings me into her fat, generous arms, a maniacal witch blowing the tears off my years as she screams out, "You are loved, you beautiful, broken, bountiful soul!" And she holds my face close to hers with that eyebrow, so close, so very close. I can smell her soft baby breath and feel the heat of her entire insistence zeroed in on me. And I am dancing feet and heart lifting Lionel Richie singing. Human potential thawed and set loose. I am. I shake off the ice, adjust my crown of moss, and breathe in. That I am indeed and without reservation, love itself, and I am free. Thanks.
Thank you, Kate. Oh my gosh, that was so powerful. Thank you, thank you. Next up, we have Marta Lucia Vargas. She came here all the way from New York. She is a poet, a teacher, and founding editor of Aster 9 Journal. Her work has appeared in various journals and anthologies, including including So We Can Know, Writers of Color on Pregnancy, Loss, Abortion, and Birth, HTI Open Plaza, and The Lake Rises, Poems to and for Our Bodies of Water. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Marta Lucia.
Actually, my work has appeared, my life has appeared in many anthropologies. I think many of ours has. Thank you, Talina. Thank you so much for your vision, for all your efforts. I'm so grateful. It's so wonderful to meet everyone, and a great big thanks to April and Eric for believing, for creating this beautifully, incredibly inspired home. I'm so happy to be here. And to Kathy, querida hermana, poeta, for your invitation, for your work, for your imagination, and for all you are. I don't know where you are, but gracias. Okay. I'd like to begin by bringing in the erotic with a deep, heartfelt nod and quote from Audre Lorde. Within the celebration of the erotic in all our endeavors, my work becomes a conscious decision, a longed-for bed which I enter gratefully and from which I rise empowered. The erotic is a measure between the beginnings of our sense of self and the chaos of our life force, of our strongest feelings. As women, when we do, we are aware of how acutely and fully we can feel in the doing. Audre Lorde. So I'm reading a series of 7 short sequence pieces from a larger work called Asyla. And I love the word asyla because it's plural for asylums. And it's also a madhouse, a home of madness, and a place of refuge, a temple. So the play on that is very exciting to me. I see you hovering behind me to lean against the aqua blue tiles. Your dragging beauty is answerable only to love as I mince onions. Its shape comes in the need to talk, for me to listen with urgency. So I put the knife down. Your eyes shift to few sights only you can see, and you pin me in your moment with your stare. Ordinary time is already melting. I usually have trouble remembering what day it is, but you can take me anywhere in seconds. It's where we, mother and daughter, can meet. Place loses its binding, and we now belong to distraction and darkness. Some tunneling, some connection, something, our something. You see the fig tree inside the ICU. You see the clock, the square clock with hands turning all different ways, its 3s looking like 5s. You don't like that clock. Our time is layered with images from before, and of now. I just listen. 2. She was born on Dia de los Muertos and remains for me a stream of questions, my perpetual demystification. Her first spark of memory is April 9th, 1948, 9 years old. Bright particles of flint roll off the backs of the dead. The people are running through the streets shouting, Gaitan, Gaitan. Fear is a vibration that can get trapped in the body. She can feel it, envelop her, like an electric netting, like filaments seeping into her. She ran between bottles and the bullets to get home. I recognize now that the quiet questions bring us here to tunnel in this together. Obvious concerns, issues, obvious answers. We have all our fingers. No one is bashing in a daughter's head. A daughter's baby isn't being taken away to hide someone else's shame. I study how our more quiet questions, are we all right? But are we all right? I mean, am I all right? These keep gravity working around us. I perceive that it's the more quiet questioning that holds us up. How does this encounter mean? Or more precisely, how does this encounter sense? This continues our naming, our center of knowing, our naming, or maybe naming our place in the universe. 3. In the beginning, there was darkness, only the sea. In the beginning, the sea was mother. She was when she was, and when she was memory and potential. The stretch of the cicatrix on your throat calls my steady hand to come to you, to douse your wound in your granddaughter's breast milk. New fissures in the tunnel make it nearly impossible to communicate. It's exhausting being a perpetual guest in the house of grief, or in somebody else's version of home, or how to behave in their version of home. It wants to be drained of this languish. I know they came in through your throat to correct your spine's cervical nerves. Anatomically, the throat, the larynx, its glottis, vocal folds, lamina, resemble the cervix, the labia of the vulva, the vagina, the uterus. They say there's a holy trinity connecting the emotional and energetic planes called the womb-heart-throat connection. This makes sense. 4. The sea is portal to elsewhere. I pulse into its gray, air-curved and musty. When I was older, I remember the ancient ones, what I will miss. You left me with the Gran Maria of the softest caresses and whitest hair. I pricked her ass with a sewing needle when I was 3. Her voice constantly distracts me. I saw clouds volley between us when we talked. When she slept, her beloveds filled the air. She always said, "You are somebody's ancestor. You are somebody's ancestor." She said, "Listen to the waters." 5. What does it mean that a bloody day of rain once covered Choco? Drops were caught and tested in petri dishes. A woman watching this beneath the rain becomes blind to the din behind the rabble's cry. You granted me a tilted uterus, intersectional wormholes, and tunnel talk. You told me I must eventually vault alone. 6. You come to me in sleep, trouble to fill my pillow's breath. I retrace all the houses I've lived in to find evidence of memory. Here live the linear ones. Here live the spiraled ones. Here live the ones. Here live. I have my mother's roots, and here we are daughters of time. What happens when they realize that what we have to offer is words? 7. What do I know about existence? Consider us here at the fig tree. I clench her seeds. You've stopped bleeding. Roots bulge your feet. Your hand on my forehead is no longer fitful like the house we were born into. Another month, another bloodletting for you. Death's dust has begun its cling. Your mind is my treasure, and our language is matter, rotting and returning. I'm here. Always find me. Thank you.
Marta, thank you so much. Your words are like silk and just so beautiful. So thank you. Next up, we have Bill Goldstein. Bill reviews books for NBC's Weekend Today in New York. He's the founding editor of the New York Times book website. And he is currently writing a biography on Larry Kramer, which he worked on during his 2022 residency at the church. And Bill is going to share some insights on Larry this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Goldstein.
I better lower this. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Thank you, Talina, and thank you to you, April and Eric, and to Sarah for inviting me here today, and also for hosting me last spring for a residency in this beautiful building, which I love, since that's the word of the evening, for the gift of time and place and work it and your generosity and kindness made possible. I loved living, so to speak, with Larry Kramer here and being able, after 2 years of pandemic isolation, to work and to share space and my subject with others. Writers write alone, but don't want always to be alone, as Larry discovered, his obsessive focus on work frequently at odds with his equally obsessive need to find love, to be loved, and to love. So just as an aside, Larry Kramer was a writer and AIDS activist, and he died in May of 2020 at the age of 84. For Larry, writing and activism were one field of endeavor and one purpose in life, which arose from his love of gay people and his need to speak out in terror, rage, and love against injustice and about the threat of annihilation gay people faced. Not only the generations of gay men and so many others dying of AIDS, but also about the dangers posed by retrograde people and ideas too frequently dominant in America. Disease, but also hatred, were genocidal forces. There's a magnificent HBO documentary about Larry released in 2015 called Larry Kramer in Love and Anger, which is a title I wish I could use for my book. That captures Larry, who repeatedly proclaimed his love of gay people, though not all gay people felt he loved them, and many thought his anger, as well as at straight society, was the predominant strain, but that's another story. Larry lived in London from 1961 to 1970, and when he moved back to New York, he made a commitment to himself. The last words of his London diary were, "I am going back to New York to finally settle down and be gay, and it ain't easy to do." He died 50 years later and never wavered from that commitment to be gay, and in loving gay people, to be able, he hoped, to love himself. I wish I could say he found peace in that, or that Larry ever loved either himself or his people unconditionally. He stated his love and his conditions in the last speech he gave at a Pride rally in Central Park on the 50th anniversary of Stonewall in June 2019, a year before he died. "What does pride mean to you?" he said. "I'll tell you what it means to me. I love being gay. I love my people. I think in many ways we're better than other people. I really do. I think we're smarter and more talented and more aware of each other. I totally do. I am very proud to be gay. But as always, it was mixed for Larry with something else, anger and a sense of duty, a kind of fidelity to ideas and to action, to people and to saving lives. I'm approaching my end, but I still have a few years of fight in me to scream out the fact that almost everyone gay I've known has been affected by this plague of AIDS. As it has since its beginning, this has continued to be my motivation for everything I've done. It's been a fight I've been proud of waging. I do not see enough of us fighting this fight, performing our duty. As much as I love being gay and I love gay people, I'm not proud of us right now. Please give me something to be proud of again. Please do your duty in these dark and dangerous days. Larry needed love. He wanted to love. In writing a biography, you try to find the roots of your subject's defining characteristics. It's convenient to psychoanalyze, especially when your subject spent decades in psychoanalysis, as Larry did. But you don't want to be reductive in a book. For today, let's just say that Larry needed love because he never felt love in childhood. He always felt different, and he spent a lot of time alone in his head, disappointed by a mother he felt was more interested in her work with the Red Cross than in him. She spent a lot of time trying to fix the world's problems, he thought, rather than being a mother to him. And he was disappointed by a father who seemed to him to have no drive or ambition and to be a failure, which Larry resolved he never would be. And of course he wasn't, and of course, like his mother, he spent a lot of time trying to fix the world's problems. He wrote a note to himself in the early 1970s. Writing is important. Short stories and scripts and plays and maybe novels. I can let myself out of me through my writing. Use it. Use everything. Don't be afraid. His novel Faggots in 1978, his play The Normal Heart, about the early years of the AIDS epidemic, first produced in 1985, his novel The American People, the 2-volume novel he published in 2015 and in January 2020, Larry used everything in writing these things, his love and anger, in order to make people angry enough to take action. He also wanted people to love his plays and books, but he was resigned to bad reviews if they came. That was Larry's public love. What about the lover he wanted to find? It took him a long time, but he did find him, David Webster, and they even spent a lot of time living here together in Sag Harbor. They first met in the 1970s and then broke up. You can read Faggots for that story, and got together again in the early 90s and were married in 2013. As the novelist Edmund White told me, the thing you have to remember about people like Larry and me, who were raised on all those Hollywood movies, is we have a very romantic idea of love. Larry also had a very romantic idea of activism, which as I hope I've suggested, arose from love. A lifelong friend of Larry's told me recently he had always thought when he was younger that the measure of someone's life was how well and deeply they were loved. But as he got older, this man, Phil Curtis, who knew Larry beginning in group therapy in the early 70s, realized he'd had it wrong. Now Phil thought you knew more about a person's life by seeing how they loved. Larry wrote his books and his plays and spent decades as an activist because, as Phil said, Larry loved. He had tears in his eyes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill. Yeah, it's just amazing to hear how everyone loves, and love is for everyone. So thank you for sharing. Oops, sorry. Our next writer is Isabel Callista Kaplan. When I first decided to do this program, I really wanted to get the Pearson high schoolers involved, and so I did an open call. And asked people to submit, and I was nervous because high schoolers are a little unreliable, but we got them, and Isabel submitted a beautiful story and I was very, very impressed with her vulnerability and her honesty in it, considering that she's only a junior. On top of that, she's co-captain of the Hurricane swim team, the social justice chair of Temple Adas Israel's youth group, and she's the editor-in-chief of Pearson's literary magazine Silhouettes. Her short story, Dismasted, has been published in the 2022 Eldridge Tide and Pilot book. So, ladies and gentlemen, Isabel Callista Kaplan.
Thank you to the church for this wonderful opportunity. Especially as a high school student, I'm very excited to be here and read in this space. I'll be reading a short story called That Star. Do you think other planets have fireflies? Esme asks. We were lying down towels, long grass tickling our ankles that were high in the air just moments before, dancing on the stars. Yes, I say immediately. She pauses. Really? Actually, I'm not sure. I've never thought about it before, but suddenly a world without fireflies seems depressing. The twinkling lights beside us, lighting up the trees, a world without fireflies would be as sad as a world without magic. Unthinkable. I don't say this. I don't respond. There's fireflies here and there's fireflies there, she says, gesturing to the trees and the sky. I smile. Stars are fireflies. If you stare at a star long enough, it'll flash red. Stare at a star. Focus in on it. I gaze at a star. A moment passes. No, not that one. I laugh. How do you know which star I'm looking at? I ask. Sometimes she seems to know me better than I know myself, but I suppose that is expected from sisters, especially one so close in age. You're looking at that bright one, she points at it. Look at a dimmer star, one less visible. I stare at another star, one others might not take the time to see. I don't see it flash red. I see it pulse, living. Who's to say stars aren't living, breathing, pulsing? Grandma used to say they were. She said she wanted to become a star, watching down on us, knowing that we were gazing at her, watching her form constellations. What if that star is Grandma, I ask, pausing. This is our last summer here, packing up what once was our grandma's house, and now is just a piece of property filled with memories. This was the field we would walk to, her bringing a handmade quilt and a picnic basket and books. Lots of books. Us sitting for hours, so close to a cliff, the end of the world, the beginning of the sea. She would read to us, making picture book words lyrics to a song only she knew the beat of. The field Dad is scared of wading into due to ticks. That fear is washed off on me, but in this moment, ticks are the last thing on my mind. I'm thinking of this living, breathing star, the one I know has fireflies that light up its night sky, the one I know glimmers, and if I look long enough, I can see the pinpricks of light flashing and darkening. The one that is faint, yet in the center of everything, part of thousands of constellations if you look closely enough. Grandma passed away in January, right after the new year. We always visited for Christmas break, decorating the surrounding trees with handmade cranberry and popcorn garlands. This year we didn't. We went skiing instead, Mom and Dad insisting on taking us, telling Grandma that we would visit her during spring break. Spring break turned out to be too late, her falling down the stairs with no one to help her up. Maybe that's why we ran outside tonight against our parents' wills into the darkness. Maybe a part of me still blames them for Grandma's death, no matter how irrational that may be. If we had visited then, maybe we would have moved the pile of books that she had tripped over, even if just a few inches. Maybe she wouldn't have fallen. The maybes. After dinner, Mom labeled a cardboard box books. We stared at it and ran, grabbing a towel, tears flowing down our cheeks, sprinting barefoot across the grass. It only made sense that we ended up here, where it all started, where the love of writing and words arose, where the sky was an endless expanse above, where if I looked long enough, I could forget that I was mad at Grandma, mad at her for resisting help when we insisted upon it, mad at her for falling. I fell down the stairs 3 weeks ago. I got back up. I'm mad at her for giving up, even though I know she didn't. Maybe who I truly blame is me, us. She tripped over our picture books. Books she must have read through that winter when we weren't there. She had those books because of us. She tripped over our books. She tripped over our books. Esme reaches her hands up to the sky. I want to grab the stars, pull them close to me, give them a hug. I reach up, hands outstretched. We hold hands, head to head, mind to mind. I just want a hug from a star. That star, the one with fireflies. Thank you.
"16 years old." That is very, very impressive. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, please, for Isabel. We are now nearing the end. For those of you who called today asking how long this would be, I said 7:30 to 7:45, and a lot of you showed up late, so if you have dinner reservations, show up to those late too. Before I read, and then before we go into the open mic segment, I want to thank a lot of people. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, our generous donors, Lena, Keith, and Ann, Robbie, and Alex. This wouldn't have happened without you guys, and so thank you so much. You'll see that we have donation cards placed on your tables. We really wanted to make this program as inclusive as possible, which is why the tickets were so low in price, but they didn't even cover the costs of producing this event. So if you had fun tonight, if you enjoyed hearing all of these beautiful words from these incredible people, please consider donating, and all of that will go towards literary programming at the church. This is All the World's a Stage. Love is a Verb. We're hoping to make it a quarterly series with differing themes. This theme, of course, was love, but we have ideas for the next one. So, thank you again to our donors. Yes, round of applause, please. I want to thank the church team. I want to thank Sarah for our curator, who co-curated the show with April Gornick, which I hope you'll come back and see. Thank you for your words of encouragement and making sure that I ate today. So I want to thank Sherry. Please, our executive director. When Sherry first came on the team, I was newly, promoted to the programming manager, and in my head, I thought, okay, I'm gonna make everyone else's programs happen, but I'm not gonna come up with any, I'm not gonna do that. So, but I remember Sherry and I having a meeting in her office, and she sat me down and she was like, look, you're not everyone's programming assistant, you're the manager, and you can come up with ideas. And I remember just being like, I want to do an open mic night. And then I was like, oh, she'll forget about it. And she kept it on my to-do list and was like, when are you going to calendar this? And how are you going to do this? And she helped me fundraise and everything. So thank you so much, Sherry. And I want to thank our junior staff, Sam, Kristen, Juwan. We have Tia here helping us tonight. Thank you all so much. Somehow you all are collectively my number two. I know that I tend to get a lot of credit for our programs, but they would not happen without these people, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Yeah, I mean, you kept me all sane today, so. And then I want to thank April because she was one of my first interviews at the church I had with her, and ultimately she's the reason why I got promoted to programming manager. I have an inkling that when she went home and was like, Talina's going to be promoted to program manager, Eric was like, who's that? So that's why I want to thank April. And then I want to end with an anecdote from Eric. Yesterday he stopped by the church, and He was talking with Sam and I, and he was talking about, kind of the feeling of being part of something in its infancy that has the potential to be great. And kind of walked us through all of these different experiences he's had where he's been a part of the early stages of things that ended up being great. And I feel so honored to be a part of the church and to be a part of the creation of it. And I just want to thank both of you for creating something that not only has the potential to be great, but already is great. So thank you. Thank you. Yes, this organization will live past all of us, and I don't know, maybe one day my portrait will be in the windows, I don't know. But, all right, yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm gonna read. And I'm gonna take my time because Kathy told me to do that tonight, so. Okay. I've never felt lonelier than when I try to write about love. I know I've felt love from my mother. I've felt it taken away by my father. I think of those who haven't received it from either. I send love to them. My last college assignment was to write about a world where abnormality was realized, titled by the professor, The Long Song. So there I laid outside on my wooden porch during a hurricane, hopeful that the winds would strip me of everything I ever thought I should be and open the portal to abnormality. I used to think love was desire. It was lust, passion, hunger, a fuzzy consciousness dictated by lack, a fleeting climax that once captured falls entirely flat. The word itself just feels like a filler. What if you couldn't say, I love this, it, that, or you? What other word would you choose? I wandered around my yard, my linen shirt molded to my skin, the wet moss cushioned between bare toes, stumbling across childhood play spots. I'm thrown back to the adventures I took, the worlds that were of my design, battling monsters and climbing trees. Where did that little girl go? The one who created a utopia of characters, who was carelessly abnormal. One was the last day I played outside and turned my back on that girl, shutting the door to my yard, falling victim to normalcy, while she hides in our old spots, left defenseless to the monsters. You'll find it on the ocean in February, resting in the silence of nature, in a roaring stadium when the musician lets the crowd sing. It's that sweet spot in between telling someone you like them and before they answer, or a secret that ends with, I've never told anyone that before. Howling at the moon with friends, late night giggles between sisters, or when my baby brother and I are mistaken for twins. Eventually, the storm passed, the sun cracked through the clouds, a golden glow scattered in the trees. I drove to the beach. I stared into the beaming light, trying to blind myself with inspiration. Out of nowhere appeared a girl I used to know, out for a walk with her dog. I asked if I could join. See, this girl made out with my date during senior prom. Her dog had run away from home, led her to the beach to me, so I figured a walk with her was my closest shot at abnormality. We walked until the sun dove under the horizon. I kept watch of the dog while she swam in the moonlight. Near the end of our walk, with no context, she said, I used to run a lot for school, and now that I don't run anymore, I'm happy. I never handed in the assignment. I tried to write it, but even after everything, I felt like a fraud. Now I think, I'm not certain, that maybe love is when abnormality is realized. It's in your abnormalness and in made-up words, the qualities that make us strangely human, the out-of-context remarks that are more for you than for whoever is listening. Should I email my professor after all these years? At the top of their inbox, the subject line reads, "The longest song there ever was." Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Let's give another round of applause for the writers. I'm so happy to know you and to have met you. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to hear from our open mic signups. So stay tuned, get some more wine, and we'll see you in a bit. Thank you. Sam, hit the lights. Hi, everyone. All right, break over. Take your seats. Take your seats. That concluded the segment of our featured writers. Oh, I think we lost one of our lights. That's okay. So a big part of this program that was super important to me was to have an open mic segment because I wanted the audience to have an opportunity to share their work without any favoritism or bias. So we have 4 individuals who will be reading tonight. Don't worry, you'll only be here for about 10 more minutes. So we have Mayers Bartlett, Kedrick Malone, I'm sorry if I'm saying any of your names wrong, Skylar Kay, and Jessica Tacone. Thank you. If you guys just want to come up, you'll each go one after the other in that order. So thank you for signing up, and I'm excited to hear your work.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Hi. Hi, yeah, for the record, it's Myers Bartlett. No worries. And thank you. This poem is called There. There is one. There is one heart. There is one heartbeat. There is one heartbeat pulsing. There is one heartbeat pulsing through. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine knowing. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine knowing all. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine knowing all divine. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine knowing all divine flowing. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine knowing all divine flowing onward. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine, knowing all divine, flowing onward, upward. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all divine, knowing all divine, flowing onward, upward, inward. There is one heartbeat pulsing through us all, divine, knowing all divine, flowing onward, upward, inward. There is where you find forgiveness.
Good evening. This poem is about the power of love to triumph over everything. It's called United Souls of America, USA. Do you know why I sit in silence? Unmoved by fear, unbroken by violence. Be still and know a great revelation. I am soul. I am the nation. Liberty, freedom, a more perfect union. Cast in iniquity, sowed the seed of revolution. Privilege for some, for others, kill the spirit, not realizing the power of the soul within it. Divided unto itself, surely a nation cannot stand. Miseducating its own to protect the brand. Disjointed pieces scattered across a landscape, not united in values, built on sandscape. Hues of separation, me black, you white, a superficial construct to make wrong what is right. The soul cries out for justice, truth, and revelation. Let freedom ring, it says, end this abomination. Souls of the masses, the oppressed and distressed, found their worth, seeking only to be equally blessed. For as iron sharpens iron, truth cuts like a knife, beheading the beast of fear so love can have its life. I can now breathe. Strife brought revelation. Inhale the oxygen of freedom. Experience a new vibration. Out of many, one, the soul won the fight, calling, USA, USA, let the nation unite. Thank you.
Hey. This is titled A Conversation with My Big Brother Jesus. Tendrils of smoke rose up from the sea, rolling beyond where my eyes could see, a reminder that we will soon part from this place where your magic beat my heart. You brought me here in 40 years, wandering through my fears and tears and demands to the ocean. Who am I? What is my purpose? Why haven't you spoken to me? And now in only 30 days, you've set my heart ablaze. The answer to all my questions is you. It has always been you. When waves of anxiety threaten to sink my boat and worry and fear clench my throat, it is not an answer that saves me, but remembering all you've done to love me that sets me free. I have seen the extent I will go for pride. I would hate myself, except your loving tide covers all of me that is broken, lifts my heart open, forgiving me with an invitation, come and see with your imagination. I've been the Lady Virgin, a lizard you confide in, the Holy Spirit who warned you, a donkey who carried you, a disciple you've chosen, and even me woven into your stories. With your honest eyes and vulnerability, you beckon me, an outsider all alone, you made me your own. Follow me, you say. Be with me. I pray my heart abides, and I never leave your side. Then to see you beaten and shamed, nailed to a cross you claimed, all of our sin, when only a sliver left me broken on the ground, crying, no more, no more. You surrendered to all of it for me. because I couldn't bear it, because that's okay, because I'm your little brother and nobody loves me better. When I was afraid and hurt, you walked through the doors that I locked, meeting me in the darkest parts of me with humor, patience, and endless amounts of empathy. How could I not love you endlessly? I run to you, big brother. I run to you, and we embrace each other. My Father sent me, and now I send you out to sea. It will not always be kind. Your way may be hard to find. But when your navigations fail and the waves rail, when you feel lost, remember, I will never let you carry your cross alone. Trust, I am with you, little brother, even when you suffer and when you want to hide, but you couldn't lock me out if you tried. I know you're already missing me. I see you looking over your shoulder as you sail out to sea. Love the world forward, little brother. The way I have loved you, love another, not because they deserve it or will return it, but because you love me and I love the world and give it freely as the sky covers. I trust you, little brother. What I began, not even death kept me from finishing, and what I have begun in you, I am not relinquishing. So look away from where you have been and let us begin. Tendrils of smoke rose up from the sea. I roll with the wind beyond what my eyes can see. Your magic beating in my heart, your words lingering on the breeze as I depart. I love you, little brother.
I have a classic rhyme for you guys. It's short and sweet. It's called Enraptured. Together they sit in the watcher's tower, sharing the magic of the ocean's power. The water seems eerie in the dark of night, with a blanket of fog that impairs their sight. But a moment of wonder reflects within, neither knowing exactly where to begin. The two are enraptured like ocean and shore, entwined by their destiny, both wanting more. They want to meet endlessly day after day, so the ocean can know every beach and bay, so the shore can see past the ocean's unknown, and neither of the two will ever be alone. Learning from each other over the ripples of time, hand in hand together from this tower they'll climb.
Thank you all so much for signing up, and thank you all again for coming tonight. We did it! Stay tuned. The next All the World's a Stage will be in sometime in July. So thank you all, and have a great night. Yeah, cool.